Landing particles makes your landings feel more impactful, so let's dive into Godot. I have my player here, and I'm going to start by creating some particles. So I'm going to add a GPU particles 3D. We have to make a draw pass. I'm going to use the sphere mesh, and then on the process material, I'm going to make a new particle process material. It will start dropping. And we can go into the process material, and on the spawn and velocity, and then on the spread, I'm going to make it 90. And I'm going to give it some initial velocity, so let's say 10. And I can see that it's going in the 1x direction, so I'm going to make the 0. When you land, I want it to go up in the y direction, and then I want it to maybe not have as much velocity, so I'm going to lower it to, let's say, 3. Then I'm going to go into the display and scale. I'm going to make a new scale curve and open it up, and I want it to be a lot smaller, something like this, and then I want it to become the smallest at the end. So I'm just dragging these points, and then if you select the points, they have a smaller point, so you can rotate them. I want the curve to not be as exponential, so I'm gonna make it something like this. And as you can see, most of the particle's life is below the ground, so I'm actually gonna lower the time to, let's say, 0.5. And I think it's a little bit too fast, so I'm also gonna lower the speed, so 0.5. And then I'm gonna increase the FPS to 60. I find that I like 0.7 on the speed scale, so I'm gonna keep it like that. And then the important property is the one shot, and I'm gonna enable it, so I'm gonna turn it on. And then the way it works is that through code, we're gonna set emitting to true, and not all the particles come out at once. And to fix that, we set the explosiveness to max value, and that will cause all of them to come out at the same time. So now they do, and it looks pretty good. I'll save that and I go into my player script. I'll make a new variable and I'll call it was on floor, and I'm gonna make this the type bool, and I'll set the value later. And then inside of the physics process function, we will make a new if statement, and we will check if the was on floor is false, so a double equal sign and then false. And then we also want to check if we're on the floor, so we do and then we do is underscore on floor and then colon. And if was on floor is false and is on floor is true, that means we have landed. And then we want to emit the particles, so I'm gonna drag in the GPU particles in here, and I'm gonna do dot emitting, and I'm gonna make this true, so equals true. And then outside of this if statement, I'm gonna make the was on floor equal is on floor, and I'm gonna run this, and then I'm gonna explain it. So if I play my game now and I jump, when I land it emits the particles. And I think a small bug here is with the particles, they don't have time to reset. And to fix that, I think we can do GPU particles, and then we can do dot reset maybe. Let's try restart, and I'm gonna try it again. Now they're working all the time. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if it's intentional, but that's how we fix it. So let's explain how it works. And how all of this works is that is on floor is updated when we call the move and slide function, and that's at the end here. And since the physics process function is called every physics frame from top to bottom, if we start by making the was on floor equal to is on floor, maybe we're on the floor on that frame, but let's say we jump and then move and slide will update the is on floor. Next time we run it, they won't be the same for one frame. So it will emit the particles, and then it will make itself the same after that. So that's how it works. And to show this off, I've added two labels to show when they're true and false. And if I run this game again, and if I jump, they will both be made false. And when I land, you will see that for a single frame, they're not the same. It's not noticeable if you're playing yourself, but if I slow the recording down, you will see the difference, since it's only happening for a single frame. Thanks for watching, and special thanks to my members. For source code, custom videos or coaching, check out my Ko-Fi, and I'll see you in the next one.